Are ready to write our first code in Kotlin. I have fired up IntelliJ. I'm going to select Open New Project, not to try to find a course, but to open a new project. And it wants to know what kind of project, and I'm going to scroll down until I find Kotlin as my kind of project. And now it presents me with a screen with actually three things to do. I have to give my new project a name. Then I have to give it a location. Standard location is going on the C drive. That's wrong. I'm going to change that to the H drive so that it will be remembered from one computer to another. And then I'm going to have to do something about the JDK so that it knows that this is associated with a particular Java JDK. So the Java JDK setup is like we did before. It's this complex thing where you find the C drive, go down to program files. Inside program files, you'll find Java folder. Inside the Java folder, you'll find JDK, and you'll select one of the JDKs. And after you've done all of that, it'll be set up. So here I've done that, and you can see it's all set up. I have my project name. I have the folder's location now is on the H drive, which I want it to be. And it knows about the JDK. So everything looks good, and it's asking me to create the new folder, and I say, okay, that's the new folder for the project. And now we're inside the project. As you can see, it's there, it's highlighted with the blue. And I'm going to go ahead and open that up to see what's under there, what the IDE has already generated for me. And so when I click on that and open it, I'm going to see various folders. And one of the things that I can see is, yes, there's my project source file, source directory. And inside my source directory, I'm going to right-click and find New as an option on New. It doesn't show up very well in the video, but it will show me an option to create something new. And underneath New, I'm going to find Package. And because I want to create a new package. And creating packages is something you're supposed to do in Java and in Kotlin. So I've selected package, but that's not the end of it. It's going to ask me for the package name. So for the name, the standard is to reverse an internet domain name. So for me, that would be edu.uioa.cs, which is the backwards of CS uioa edu. So I filled that in, and I'll say OK. And after I say OK, it's going to create this package in the source folder. So there it is. And now I'm going to right-click on this because inside of this package, I wish to create a class. And so I will right-click, and it will offer me options, and I'll find New. And underneath New, I'm hoping that it gives me a bunch of things that I can ask for. And indeed, it does show me things, and among those things, I want to find a Kotlin. So I want to choose a Kotlin class is what I want to create. So I'll scroll down on that to Kotlin class. As you can see, I've done. Of course, this isn't the end of it. After I select this, it's going to ask me for the name of my Kotlin class. Here it's asking me for the name, and I'm going to choose the name Sample. And then I'm going to say OK on sample. And it's created now a new file called sample.kt, and I'm editing sample. But there's a problem on the top. It says something about the Kotlin is not configured, but over to the right there's a configure option. So I'm going to go way over to the right where it says configure and click that. And I hope I only have to ever do this once. But I do have to respond to this configure thing. And then I'm going to configure this for the JVM. That's one of the options. So this is very easy. I just click on that thing that says JVM, and I think that just fixes the problem. So that's fixed now. And now we have something that we're editing, which has the package name as the first line, and we're supposed to be typing Kotlin code. Now, in case you don't know Kotlin, a standard thing to do is to define the main method or main function, and then do something in that like print hello world. Before I do that, I went over and I clicked on the package just to see the source file in the tree of where everything is located, so I can see Kotlin there as well. So I can see that the Kotlin file is located inside the package. And that's going to be handy a little bit later. Okay, so now I'm back to the folder, and I just typed in the word main. And this is not normal Kotlin, but this is sort of a little trick that the IDE has. If you type in main and then you press tab, it's like autocomplete. And the script that's associated with pressing tab after main is going to fill in what you do in most cases when you want a main method. And it's going to type this for me like magic. There you can see main and the arguments, an array of strings and so forth. And there it is. And inside of that main, I'm going to type in a print line of hello. So you just have some output. So there's my program, and it's ready to compile. It's not obvious how I run this, and I'll show you a couple ways that you can run it. So one way that I can do this is I can go over to the left and find that Kotlin sample.kt file and right-click on it, and if I see the option, scroll down, there's a run, and I could just click on that run. Another thing that I could have done is just to the left of the fun main in the source file, there's a little Kotlin symbol. It's kind of blue and orange. And I can right click on that as well. And that is another way. And it says option there is to run. So there's a couple of ways that I can select run. So what happens after you select run is it will compile it and run it. And as you can see down at the bottom now is a console output where it's actually printed the line that it was output. So it ran it, which is fine. If there'd been exceptions or some kind of problems, we'd see an error stack showing what has to be done or what kind of problems there were when we tried to run it. Now, one other thing I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to close this project. So I'll click on File and then Close Project. Of course, you don't have to do this. I like to keep things tidy in case you want to have multiple projects. And so I'm going to close off this project and show you what happens. So we've closed the project, and now we're back inside IntelliJ where I could open another project, open a course, and so on.